Good morning, class. Today we will discuss few technical questions which generally comes in interviews. So we will discuss few questions as per our technical, educational or technical academics. So the first question is the bending moment along the length of a cantilever beam with uniformly load. So there is a cantilever beam and the cantilever beam is having a UDL, that is uniformly distributed load. As shown in the figure, this is a cantilever beam having UDL. So what is cantilever beam? First we should know the cantilever beam. A beam is said to be a cantilever beam if one end of the beam is fixed and the other end is free. Like this, that's one end is fixed and the other end is free. So this type of beam is generally known as cantilever beam. Now coming to the point, what is uniformly distributed load? The term itself signifies that the load which varies uniformly along the length, then that type of load is known as uniformly distributed load. As shown in figure, that the load varies uniformly along the length, so it is a UDL. So the question is, what will be the effect of bending moment when this load is applied on this type of beam? So as we are getting that this is of beam whose one end is fixed, definitely when uniformly load is vary, then an beam will deflect in this type of direction. So this direction simply signifies the graph of exponent. So according to our four options, that is varies non-linearly, does not vary, varies linearly, these all three does not satisfy the condition. So the answer will be varies exponentially. This will be our correct answer. So the answer will be B. So now coming to the next question. So our next question is that if petrol is used in diesel engine, then what will happen? If petrol is used in a diesel engine, so what is the main difference between a petrol and diesel engine? We should first know that a petrol engine is less bulkier compared to a diesel engine. Obviously there are few more differences, like in petrol engine we use normally spark plug, and in diesel engine we use fuel injector. So there are many different type of differences between these two engines. Like a petrol engine is mostly used in small vehicles, but diesel engine is used in heavy vehicles. So according to the questions, if it goes that if petrol is used in diesel engine, then what are the few among these four options, what will be the appropriate answer for that? The first option signifies that low power will be produced. So, and the second option says that efficiency will be low. The third option will say that higher knocking will occur, and the fourth option says that black smoke will be produced. So the your answer what will be C1, that will higher knocking will occur. I will justify how this satisfy the correct answer, that if in a diesel engine petrol is used, so petrol is more volatile and less dense than diesel. So if a petrol is being inserted in a diesel engine, then there will not be any spark plug. Rather, by the help of fuel injector, the combustion will occur, which ultimately leads to knocking. What is knocking? In simple language, if I say what is knocking, that let us suppose we go to other person cabin or chamber. So before entering anyone's room, we just really do this type of sound, tuck tuck. So this tuck tuck is indirectly we say is knocking. So simply this type of knocking sound generally produced in engine. So when petrol is used in diesel engines, this type of knocking sound occur. So this will be the correct or appropriate answer for this one. Now coming to the next question. Now coming to the third question, and this is a question of heat engine. The question is given, a heat engine is supplied with 800 kJ per second of heat at 600 Kelvin and heat rejection takes place at 300 Kelvin. Which of the following results reports a reversible cycle? There are 4 options. So as the question suggests, this is a general heat engine or a simple heat engine where the source temperature is T1 and the sink temperature is T2 and heat is being supplied Q1 and Q2 is the heat rejection and W is the work done. So according to question, the heat is supplied, that is Q1 is given, that is 800 kilojoule per second, and the temperature of the source, that is 600 Kelvin, that is also given, and the heat rejection takes place at 300 Kelvin, that is the sink temperature, that is we directly indicate that as T2. So T2 is also given as 300 Kelvin. So the efficiency of heat engine, we know the formula, that is 1 minus T2 by T1, and it can also be written as 1 minus Q2 by Q1. So on comparing these two equations, we get T2 by T1 equals to Q2 by Q1. So upon relation Q2, we can find out that will be Q1 into T2 by T1. We have the value of Q1, that is 800. We have the value of T2, that is 300, and we have the value of T1, that is 600. On solving this, we get the value of 400. So among these 4 options, the B will be the correct option, that will be 400 kilojoule per second heat is rejected. So this will be the answer. Now coming to the next question. So our next question is, if the intake air temperature of IC engine increases, then its what effect will be on its efficiency? So the intake air temperature, that means while entering to the engine, the temperature of the air increases, that indirectly decrease the efficiency. That will be the answer. B will be correct here. Then how it will happen? Actually, if the intake air temperature is increases, that means the amount of air inserting to the engine which temperature is at higher level, then indirectly it will increase the engine heat, so which will ultimately produce less power. So ultimately the efficiency will decrease. So if there will be another question, that if the intake air pressure of IC engine increases, then what will be the efficiency? So that time the efficiency will increase. If the pressure of intake air increases, then efficiency will increase. If the temperature of intake air increases, then the efficiency will decrease. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Now the next question comes from the topic current electricity, and the question is given as, if the current changes from 5 ampere to 3 ampere in 2 seconds, then the induction is 10 Henry, then calculate the EMF. So we know that the relation between EMF and inductance is EMF equals to L into I2 minus I1 by T, where L is the inductance which is given as 10, I2 and I1 is given 5 and 3 ampere, and the time for that is given as 2 seconds. On solving, we get the initial answer, that is 10 volt. Among these, the B option will be the correct one. Now coming to the next question. Now the question comes that if either the inductance or the rate of change of current is doubled, then the induced EMF, that means what will be the effect in the induced EMF? That means we have to get the relation between inductance, current and EMF. That will indirectly say the relation. So we have the relation that EMF E equals to Li by T, where L is the inductance, I is the current and T is the time. So we have, according to question, the inductance is double and the current is also doubled. So indirectly the EMF is directly proportional to inductance and current. So if both these terms are doubled, then also EMF will double. That means here the answer C will be the correct answer. That means EMF will also double. Our next question is, a 2-stroke cycle engine gives dash the number of power strokes as compared to the 4-stroke cycle engine at the same engine speed. So here the answer will be double. So why this double? Because in a 2-stroke engine, simply I will differentiate you that how an engine is said to be a 2-stroke and how an engine is said to be a 4-stroke. 2-stroke engine means the piston will move 2 times in an engine. That means one time up, down, another time up. If this 2 motion occurs, then that type of engine is 2-stroke engine. But if in a 4-stroke engine, the piston reciprocates 4 times. That means up, down. If 4 type of motion occurs in an engine, then that is known as 4-stroke engine. So simply 2-stroke engine, piston reciprocates 2 times, and in a 4-stroke engine, the piston reciprocates 4 times. So simply in a 2-stroke engine, while piston reciprocate 2 times, single time power is developed. But in a 4-stroke engine, when piston reciprocate 4 times, then once power is developed. So similarly, comparing this point, we can easily conclude that the 2-stroke engine can gives double the number of power strokes as compared to 4-stroke engine. So the answer will be the C bit. Next question is, which of the following abrasives is generally used for manufacturing grinding wheels? So as we all know that the grinding wheels must be the heavier and hard tough, so that it can easily it is mainly used for surface finishing. So among these 4 options, that one is obviously eliminated, that none of these, emery, sandstone and corundum. The appropriate answer will be sandstone, because it is the most hardest metal and that it is mainly used for manufacturing grinding wheels. So now the question is, the potential energy of a vertically raised body is dash the kinetic energy of a vertically falling body. That means when a body is vertically raised, that means thrown vertically up, then the effect of potential energy will be how much when the body is freely falling, and the effect of kinetic energy on that. So actually the answer will be, in this case, will be equal to, that will be the first bit, A. That means when a body is vertically raised, so then at that time the potential energy will always be equal to the kinetic energy of a free falling body. Obviously it is the statement point that the body should be free falling, that only in this case only the potential energy will be equal to the kinetic energy. Now coming to the next question, that is, for a coil having a magnetic circuit of constant reluctance, if the flux increases, then what happens to the circuit? So we should know that for a coil having a magnetic circuit with constant reluctance, if a magnetic circuit having constant reluctance, then the flux in that circuit is directly proportional to current. In this type of case, the flux is directly proportional to current. So if the flux increases, then the current will also increase. That will means that A bit will be the answer for this question. I hope these questions will be helpful for you in your coming times. So thank you for all for today's class, and we'll get back to another questions. We'll come back with another number of questions in our next class. Okay, thank you.